In a time of ammo shortages, we want to make each one of our range trips with live ammunition more efficient. So we need a way to practice skills without going to the range. One of the areas that's been booming over the last, 10 years is adult air rifles. Yes, we all had a Daisy BB gun. Yes, we all know you can put an eye out with one of those things, right? But in recent years, adult air rifles have moved into their very own shooting niche, and they are very sophisticated tools. There's no question, given the advances and given the wide variety of product, that there's an air rifle that's right for you. Let me take you through a few of them, show you how they work. This is a pretty much state-of-the-art Gamo Whisper Fusion Pro adult air rifle. Now, I've been working with Gamo for about 5 years, and each time SHOT Show rolls around, they want to show me what they've done in a few specific areas that are really important to all of us. Number one, sound technology. I shudder to call this a suppressor, but it's a sound baffling device, and it gets more efficient each year. This particular one, it reduces the sound almost 90%. You think, well, how loud can a pellet gun be? And the answer is louder than you think. A second critical area they've been working on is the trigger. To use a technical term, if you go back 5 years, all air rifle triggers sucked. They didn't feel like real triggers on real rifles. One of the things Gamo is focused on is bringing a good trigger to an air rifle. And I'd say this year, they pretty much got it nailed. There's also a little bit of recoil pad here. Once again, you say the same thing. Well, there's not much recoil off a pellet. Yes, there is. More than you think, because it's very sharp. It's small, but it's sharp. What happens on sharp recoil? The pellet is moving through the barrel. You destabilize the pellet as it exits the gun. These guns are capable of amazing accuracy, sub-MOA, sometimes one pellet groups at say 25 yards. So you don't want to do anything that destabilizes the pellet on the way out. Fourth area that Gamo works on is pellets. They're the largest pellet manufacturer in the world, so they're constantly working to make the pellet go faster. And with their PBS Platinum pellets, which come with this baby, you can crank out 1,400 feet per second, so it makes it a viable hunting gun. Now, this is a break action air rifle, so you're gonna have to fiddle around to find a way that you're most comfortable with breaking the barrel, going all the way down. That cocks it, you can feel it cock. Pellets inserted. These are match pellets. Most of what I shoot out of my air rifles are match pellets because I'm working on being a better shooter. Goes back to here, gun's now cocked. And not very loud. Most of what you're hearing is happening in the piston in the gun. On the faster pellets, they are going to break the sound barrier. Roughly 1,000 feet per second, 990 some odd feet per second, but you're always going to hear the pellet break that sound barrier. This is the best air rifle trigger I've ever felt. It's getting very close to a good centerfire rifle trigger. That's going to help you train your trigger pull. Where I live, near the secret hidden bunker, these type air rifles are standard issue for almost everybody. That's because in addition to target guns, they're superb at pest control. One thing you can be sure of though, is whatever kind of shooting you want to do, match, hunting, fill in the blank, there's a pellet for you. You're going to have to learn a little bit about the different pellets. And just like any gun, I started to say firearm, but wait, no, it's an air rifle. Just like any gun, it's going to prefer some pellets more than other pellets. I found that these guns, and I've had maybe 2 generations of these Fusion Whispers, really like the Gamo match pellets. They're super accurate with those pellets. A little bit less so with the pellets going really fast, which is actually consistent with modern firearms technology. But in any case, this is your ideal starter.
If you're searching for an air rifle you can take out hunting or stay closer to home for some serious target shooting or fun plinking, then look no further. Get your hands on the Ruger Blackhawk Elite. The sleek blued receiver and weatherproof composite stock are packed with a light, smooth cocking mechanism, an ambidextrous auto safety, a 3.5-pound 2-stage adjustable trigger, will have you sending 177 caliber pellets downrange, one right after the other. Weighing in at only 7.8 pounds, this spring-piston break-barrel air rifle sports an ambidextrous synthetic skeleton stock with textured pistol grip and a 4x32 airgun shockproof scope that locks on to 11mm dovetail mounting grooves. Before you head out to the woods or your favorite range, pick up your Ruger Blackhawk Elite at your favorite retailer.
Well, at Sig Air, our vision revolves around disruptive innovation. Innovation is in our DNA, in the culture and the heritage at Sig Sauer. We're not here merely to innovate, but we're here to challenge the status quo. It begins with better designs, questioning everything, with no preconceived notion of what is possible. Take the ASP20, our newest break barrel rifle. It's the world's first collaborative effort between the finest airgun engineers and the finest firearm engineers in the world. They infused this gun with firearm technology. The result is that we feel we made the very best break barrel rifle on the market.
The idea behind the development of the ASP20 was to design a magnum-powered break barrel air rifle that would be consistently accurate and easier to shoot. The requirement for a smooth cocking and easy cocking of the rifle meant that we had to focus on reducing friction in every moving joint of our glide-light cocking mechanism. Our proprietary breech lock design ensures that the barrel locks up to the action in the same spot every time and stays securely in place during shooting. This solution virtually eliminates the barrel droop problem, which is common to many break barrel air rifles on the market. Our two-stage matchlight trigger was designed with safety, performance, and ease of use in mind. It provides smooth pulls, clean brakes, and is adjustable to shooter's personal preference.
The goal I gave the engineering team was to tackle a few key issues that most Magnum-powered break barrels have: heavy recoil, hard to cock, barrel droop, and subpar triggers. I wanted an air rifle that was smooth and easy to shoot, with crisp trigger and excellent accuracy. Something that would be good for people of all skill levels, from someone who's never picked up an air rifle before to the seasoned target shooter. Building the ASP20 in our New Hampshire facility has allowed us the opportunity to utilize some of the same materials and processes that we use in producing our world-class firearms: FNC finish, match drilling, laser welding, and laser engraving, just to name a few. We also challenged ourselves to put the ASP20 through some of the same rigorous testing that we do our military-grade firearms. The ASP20 is a great all-around air rifle.
Hi, I'm Aiden Hansen. I just want to go over the Ruger Airhawk today. There's a couple features in here that I really like. Number one, I'm a Ruger fan. If Ruger comes out with it, if Ruger made tacos, I would buy it. But I'm a big fan of it because there's a lot of quality in the products. So to start off with, we have a wooden stock. It comes with a scope. It's a fixed power 4x32, so it doesn't have the adjustable side of it, but a fixed power 4x32 for 17 caliber is perfect. The scope is really clear. On top of that, easy to mount. Comes inside the box, you can set it up, and on top of that, it also has fiber optic sights. So if you want to take the scope off and shoot at open sights, I do have a couple guns that I shoot open sight. They're just fun. You can go out and plink cans if we're just out shooting targets or whatever it is. But if I want to really stretch it out a little bit further, this is going to work out better for you. The other piece I like on this, and this thing's been out a while, is every time that you cock the gun, it pops the safety out here. So if you want to take the safety back off, all you do is press it from the back with your thumb. It's easily accessible. You're not searching on the side to try to find out where it's at. It works great. One of the first things you'll notice when you cock it, up here you break the barrel over, I can feel the tension in it. So I know right away that we're probably 1,000 plus based on the feel. In my opinion, I like to use heavier pellets. So if you're at 1,200 feet per second with an alloy pellet, what that's going to do for you is when you start shooting, 10 grain pellets, if you push it up even further and go with, 11 grain or whatever it is, 10 grain is probably on the top end when you're looking at 177. But we're shooting, the GSB exact heavy Diablos. if I put that in here with a 1200 feet per second with an alloy, I'm still getting great speeds with good accuracy as I put these down range. So it's pretty simple. The kick, if you watch from this area, or from this direction here, it just bumps. Now this one's still being broken in just a little bit. You can still see a little bit of smoke that comes out of the barrel, but overall I love it. Trigger pull is nice and smooth. The fit and finish on it's beautiful. You know, there's a lot of guns that come out nowadays that they don't have a wooden stock. And for a 17 caliber, I think this one carries all the features that I look forward to.
Hatsan Spring and Vortex gas piston powered air guns are some of the most powerful in the world, often exceeding other air guns in their related classes by as much as 15 and 20%. Achieving this level of energy requires a more powerful power plant, and as a result, Hatsan air guns have a firm and unique recoil. Hatsan has commissioned this video to help demonstrate the techniques necessary to adapt to this type of recoil and achieve consistent accuracy. Let's get started. Shooting high-powered spring and gas ram-powered air guns can be tricky business, especially if you're making the switch from firearms. Firearms recoil basically in one direction, which is back into the shooter's shoulder. They also propel their projectiles at a much higher velocity than air guns. In reality, the projectile is long gone before the recoil can have any significant effect on the point of impact. Traditional spring and gas piston powered air guns are very different in that they recoil in as many as 3 different directions. First, there's the initial jolt back into the shooter's shoulder. Next, and specifically with Magnum spring air guns, those are the ones with the metal spring, there can be rotational torque as the spring expands and pushing the piston forward. Lastly, there's a jolt forward, which is caused by the impact of the piston into the front of the compression chamber. This is called reverse recoil. Hatsan Vortex gas piston air guns eliminate some of these effects with a smoother shot cycle and no rotational torque. Now, this all happens while the pellet is still in the barrel, and why proper technique and hold is so critical, as any change in hold position or pressure can and will influence that point of impact. When you watch an artillery piece fire, you're going to see them rock and roll like crazy, but they always seem to hit their mark with great precision. This is because the action returns to the exact same location every time. This technique can be adapted to spring and gas ram-powered air guns, and why it's been coined the artillery hold. The goal is to master the same exact hold position and pressure for each shot, not as to control the recoil, but rather to make it extremely predictable. Here are some general rules to follow. Now, each air gun is going to require a bit of finesse and practice to master, but these basics will get you headed in the right direction. The first thing you're going to want to do is find the balance point of your particular Hatsan air gun and cradle it with your offhand. It's critical to make note of your hand placement because any shift forward or backward can have a dramatic effect on the point of impact. Next, gently take the grip of the rifle and bring it to your shoulder. You want to maintain control, but you don't need a death grip on the rifle. As with the position of your offhand, make a mental note of how you're gripping the rifle, how you're positioning your finger on the trigger, and where you're placing your thumb, etc. Every aspect of how you are holding the rifle can have an impact on consistency from shot to shot. After you take your shot, it's critical to hold the position for a moment or two. This is called follow-through. It's common to want to look up and immediately see where you hit the target. Fight that urge and maintain your hold for a few moments after the shot. Now that you have the basics to the artillery hold, it's time to start shooting your new Hatsan air gun and refining your technique. As you're learning how your rifle shoots and how it likes to be held, you're also performing the necessary break-in process for your new air gun. All spring and gas ram-powered air guns require some amount of break-in before they reach their optimal performance. The average break-in period is going to vary, but it's generally say between 200 and say 350 shots. Make sure to always only use quality ammo like our Vortex pellets or H&N premium ammo for best results. While you're learning your new Hatsan air gun, try and stick with open sights if it's so equipped. And only shoot at close range, say 10 yards for example. This allows you to see what minor changes may need to be made to your technique to help improve accuracy. It is a learning process, and it's going to take some time and patience. Here are a few final tips to help you get the most out of your spring or Vortex gas piston powered Hatsan air gun. Let's start with what not to do. Don't rest your rifle directly on any type of support like a sandbag, rifle rest, shooting sticks, or any other type of hard surface. This will create an unstable rest point, and you'll never get the kind of consistent accuracy that the rifle is capable of achieving. Now here's what you can do. You can use supports of various types to support your offhand. When you're shooting from the bench, create a 3-point stance using your elbows and a support for your offhand. This will allow you to relax and focus on your technique. Once you've mastered how a particular rifle needs to be shot, then you can try and duplicate those results away from the bench.
If you're new to our channel, you can hit the subscribe button right here. We post new videos every week, or there's probably another video you'll like right here. I'm Josh, and we'll see you next time.